Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I am Mick Alphanine. We're going to start off with a little bit of quant news. There are chapters in here if you'd like to jump around. We got a little XRP, a little Algorand. We're going to start off with quant because quant has been exploding after months of people hating on quant, after months of people saying quant is going back down, trying to convince people to sell. Quant has been exploding. This is why it's important to do your own research. Quant broke through $200. What was it, like 208, 210, something like that? Looking good. People bought a ton of quant at $40. $40. And back then people were saying, oh no, quant's going to go lower. You have to know the catalyst. So now you have all these articles coming out and suddenly everybody knew. They knew quant. See, this is the reason why quant was going to explode. We all knew. If you all knew, then why didn't you say anything? Right? It's easy to celebrate when something goes off, and then all of a sudden everybody knows. They didn't know. There's only a handful of people out there. I know who's who. A handful of people that knew and told people the truth. Like, okay, we did the research. This is why we talked about catalysts way back when. And now people are doing very well with quant. So let's read this little article here. It's on coingate.com. Quant coin outperforms major crypto coins in last 4 months. Still a good buy. Of course it's a good buy. It's still below all-time high with a coin that only has a circulating supply of like 13 million. Way less than Bitcoin's circulating supply. So if you love Bitcoin, how can you not love quant? We're here to make money, aren't we? We're here to make money. So if you're a money maker, then you must love quant. In my humble opinion, that's how I look at it. I'm here to make some money. I'm not here to save the whole world or such like that. We do good here and there for the worthy, all right? The wise who walk towards the door. We can't push you through the door. We can only show you opportunities. Up to you what you do with it. We can only put information that there on the table. It's up to you if you pick it up or not, right? So it's below all-time high. Quant could be a $1,000 coin easily. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. And this is not financial advice. I'm not trying to sway you this way or that way. I'm not one of those channels. I don't care if you buy or sell. It doesn't matter to me because the banks are stepping in. Guess why Quant's price is exploding? Because of news of the bank connections that they have. They literally have been declaring that they're going to be bringing in more partners, that they went to CBOS to talk to partners, to talk to potential clients. That's why people are starting to understand as now it's making more news rounds. Bigger media platforms are starting to talk about it. So of course that price is going to explode. Wait until you see what it's going to do in the future. You don't have to take it from me. Do your own research. I'm just sharing what I find and my understanding of it all. But we're moving into a distributed ledger technology financial system. Quant is at the helm of that system. It is the overledger. They have deals with SIA Chain, SIA Partners, LAC Chain, and they're trying to bring in even more clients. They are the hungriest besides Ripple. They are the hungriest when it comes to bringing in banks. And you know, what's going to be interesting also on a side note, on a different topic, now XDC is getting hungry to bring in the banks. You know, they were just mostly trade finance. Now they're starting to get hungry to bring in banks. So that's going to be interesting as well, because everybody knows where the big money is coming from. And believe you me, the banks need all the help they can get. They're terrible right now. Nobody likes them right now. How much, can you tell me, how much do they have to keep in reserves? Oh, yeah, right. Are you going to be able to get your money when it's time to get your money out of those banks? Right. People are starting to understand that. So the banks need all the help that they can get. And we have what they need. That's why the price of Quant is exploding. That's why the price of XRP is going to explode, in my humble opinion. XLM, Algorand, Cello, Hedera, same thing. Same thing. So it says here, the Quant coin undermines the negative market sentiment by a perpendicular rally since last week. The altcoin has been rising for 5 consecutive days and registered around 42% growth. It's been going insane and great. It's a great thing. The QNT price currently trades, and we told people this months ago. We told them. We made a lot of good calls here. The QNT price currently trades at $216 mark and has breached another resistance of $206.08. So there you go, $216 a touch. I said 208, 210. It touched 216. That's nothing, by the way. It's very good right now. And do what you have to do. right? Do what you need to do. Some people are going to hold a little longer. Some people are going to sell. Do what you need to do. Don't let these people out here tell you what to do and make decisions for you that later on you might regret. No, make your own decision. So you'll sleep better at night. You'll have no regrets. I trust you to do what's best for you. Okay? You understand? I know so many people out here, they're going to say, do this and do that. Their article titles and thumbnails are going to say, sell now, buy now. Be careful. Protect yourself at all times. Be careful. Be careful. All right. How far will this rally go? You know, I'm not concerned with how far this rally goes because I know where Quant can go. Like I said, in my humble opinion, it's $1,000 coin easily. That's nowhere near where it can go. That's not even close to where it can go. Look at the catalyst. Look at the partnerships. Look at the circulating supply. Look at, then also do a little research into how the coin functions. That way you can't be misinformed. The functionality of that coin. Oh my goodness, especially when they start instituting certain other things, which locks value up on that chain. The functionality of that coin is going to make it, should theoretically make it explode. And I'm here for it all. Ride or die. I'm here for it all to the end. No retreat, no surrender, baby. Oh man, things are going very well for us in my humble opinion. So now let's move on to a little bit of XRP news, right? So this headline reads, Ripple lawsuit. Can SEC further delay ruling over Hinman's speech emails? They've been saying they have their ways and methods of delaying things for the longest time. They haven't acted on it yet. But you know, it doesn't surprise me if they do. It's the SEC. They're the dirtiest players in the game. I love how they have this picture. It's a boxing picture that they have here. But yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission is actively applying its delay tactics in the long-running Ripple lawsuit. Yeah, because they're the dirtiest players in the game. If they were a boxer, they're the type of boxer to poke you in the eye, elbow you, bite you in the corner, you know, knee you in the, you know, even though you got a couple on, they're going to knee you in the groin enough times to trust me to make it count. That's how dirty they are, man. Just my humble opinion. Is actively applying its delay tactics in the long-running Ripple lawsuit. The decision over the revelation of Hinman's speech and related emails has been announced by the court. Okay, so now let's move on to another article here. So this one is titled SEC versus XRP. Ripple partner Tapjets defends XRP utility in new brief to court. So we see so many companies jumping in to fight for XRP, to defend XRP, and they should. Our time is now. We're talking about a transfer of wealth, the likes of which no one will ever see again. Why would they want to wait on that? Why would they want these entities to delay that when they can take action? I've been saying this for a long time. They all should take action at the same time and fought together. You're stronger together than you are apart. So let's read this little tidbit here. The utility and value of the asset was presented by the airline through the use of the cryptocurrency as currency in its use case. The company explains in an amicus brief that, given the nature of its business, accepting only fiat for airline shipments was a hindrance to operations. At the same time, the use of the asset helped speed up payments where a conventional bank would not be able to, such as on a Friday night. When the SEC initiated an investigation into whether it was a security, exchanges removed the cryptocurrency from trading, making it possible for Tapjets to convert it into fiat. Wow. Prior to the court case, the airline's share of XRP payments was 48%. So let me read that again. When the SEC initiated their investigation, exchanges removed the crypto. Okay, so wow. So I didn't know they were affected in that way. I'm sure that there's a way they could set it up where they get direct access, but that's beyond the point. We want everything to be free and for them to use it however they want to use it as a decentralized protocol. But yeah, I'm sure you could use it wallet to wallet, but then that's not the way that you want to use it. That's not the way it's designed to be used. So yes, the SEC has done much damage. I wish everyone would have fought a little bit earlier. It says Tapjets amicus brief follows a similar one from Ripple's Philippine partner, iRemit. Everybody's jumping in the fight right now. And it's very, very good. I hope we're going to see some progress because of this. They need to push behind the scenes. The behind the scenes push is going to be greater. Get into some of these politicians' ears, some of these governmental officials' ears, get into the ears of some of these companies, put a little bit of lobbying money. It's just, like I said many times earlier this year, it's a shame that Ripple is the biggest lobbyer in crypto. Why isn't there's so many big money companies. Why aren't there other companies rivaling Ripple when it comes to lobbying money? See, they took a soft stance. They didn't do enough early on. They should have, in my humble opinion. So now let's move on to another article here. So this one goes as such. An EVM sidechain for the XRP ledger. Last September, David Schwartz introduced his thoughts on an Ethereum virtual machine sidechain to bring Ethereum smart contracts to the XRP ledger and lower the barriers to entry for developers wanting to build apps with cross-chain interoperability. Today, Persist is announcing that it has released the first phase of the EVM sidechain for the XRPL, now live on XRPL DevNet. Now, what I was saying before, I want to circle back one moment, if you'll allow me to. What I was saying about Quant. So all these people that I've never seen before, never read articles from them before on Quant, and I do a lot of Quant research. Now they're coming out and saying, well, we knew. If you knew, see, here's the thing. If they knew, which I don't believe that they did, they just want to get some views. They just want to, get in on the success of Quant now, and get a little shine, in my humble opinion. But if they knew, then why didn't you tell everybody then? If you knew, why didn't you present this to the people, all the information that you claim that you have back then? Because wouldn't it have been helpful to the people? So you want the praise from the people, but you didn't want to help the people at the time. Meanwhile, all of the different, let's say content creators, YouTube article writers, whoever across the board, all of us back then, let's say 4, 5, 6 months ago, right? Who were talking about Quant when it was at $40 and we were taking shots from everybody. They were saying Quant was trash. They were saying Quant, even up to recent, Quant is terrible, right? And coming at us, writing us harsh letters, harsh emails, harsh Twitter messages, harsh comments. Say, while we were taking shots, you weren't even in the war. See, I don't like that kind of thing. I don't like that. Now show up now to gloat. Come on, man. Come on now. It is what it is, but I pay attention to things like that. I don't like that. I don't like that. And I don't trust individuals like that either. I tell you exactly what I know when I know it. Simple as that. Some stuff does go in the members only section, but I don't talk about that here. I don't come out later like, yeah, see this? No. Just like, let's say for instance, when the whole Zilliqa thing happened, a lot of people didn't agree with me earlier in January when Zilliqa had a little bit of a pop in price. People took good profits off of that. A lot of people disagreed with me on that, but I didn't hide it. I came out and told people, hey, look, I just put a post up. Hey, Zilliqa, this is what I found on it. And that was in like November or December. Because I thought something might happen because they were going deep into the metaverse, right? But I didn't hold anything back, right? So, but what these people are doing is coming out later. Like, see, we knew it. We knew all along. I don't like that. I don't like that. It just, that bothers me a little bit. A little bit. It takes a light away from, because some of these people have big platforms. It takes the light away from the people that really been covering Quant. These people have been covering Quant way longer than I have, of course, because I've only been covering for about 6 to 5 months. Like I said, when it was about at $40, but that was, we started covering just a little bit before then, because that's when I saw that it was really getting deep into the Bankcoin family, when it was doing deals. Once it started doing deals with SIA Chain, SIA Partners, and they're bringing on access to 500 banks. Remember, we started talking about around that time. That's when I'm like, okay, they're a part of the Bankcoin family, solidified. So I'm of the mind state of let those people who've been covering it for a long time, and let those of us who were taking shots when it was at a low and the market was bloody, and yet we were saying, hey, it's going to go up a little bit. Hey, we believe that this has good catalyst. Let those people have their time. Let those people have their day. I think that's the honorable thing to do. That's why that's on my mind. Now let's go back to let's go back to this here. Today, Persist is announcing that it has released the first phase of the EVM sidechain for the XRPL, now live on XRPL DevNet. So pretty much what they're going to do is everybody's getting in on taking a little bit of business from Ethereum. That's what this is all about. This is business. It's about acquiring partnerships, taking value from others. It's a cold-hearted system. So they're going to make it seem nice. But look, business is a vicious environment. And most of the people are going to come to you with a smile, wearing a suit, not a blazer. They're going to wear a suit. They come to you with a smile and a handshake, and they're going to reach in your pockets and they're going to take all of your money. That's how it goes. So yeah, they're going to dress this up like, yeah, we just want to build bridges to Ethereum. Look, they're building bridges so you can bring your NFTs over, your dApps over, your MDApps over, whatever it is. Make no mistake about it. Ripple is trying to take over everything, and they should. That's great for us XRP holders. Quant is trying to take over everything that it can. Algorand is trying to take over everything that it can. That's the nature of the business, and we want it to be that way. But I see this for what it is because it's great. I want to take value from Ethereum. Don't get me wrong. This is not personal. It's all business. And I don't hold any Ethereum. I don't really support Ethereum at all. I do understand, in my opinion, Ethereum has probably a few more explosions in it, so people are probably still going to make some money off of it. But I see the future of smart contracts being dominated by XDC, Algorand, Hedera. That's what I see when I think about smart contracts, right? I see Ethereum getting dominated in the future. It's just my humble opinion, and I could be completely wrong on that. But that's what this is about. Let's take as much from them now while it's early before everybody else gets in. You saw Algorand do the same thing recently. Now you see XRP doing it. Right? So let's continue on to another article here. This is from beincrypto.com. They're doing a great job over there. Make sure you check them out. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse outraged over XRP lawsuit and SEC litigation. Of course, everybody is. This is ridiculous. They're destroying the West, but hey, let them. Like I said, many people have been leaving already. They're going to be leaving the West, finding greener pastures, or they're going to spread themselves out to protect themselves at the least. So they might have a house in America. A house in America or Europe. Then they might also have a house. Sorry, they might have a house in, like, let's say Latin America, Africa, Southeast Asia, which is Southeast Asian region. When you're talking about, like, let's say Vietnam, Cambodia, beautiful places, Thailand, beautiful places, affordable, great real estate. Great properties over there. It's very good to start a little small business in these areas. And that's what a lot of people are doing. So if the West thinks that they can just rest on their laurels, not innovate, provide really nothing of substance for the people there that are building, tax all the new money into oblivion, by the way, so you get new money, then you move up a tax bracket, but you're not living off of the interest of your money just yet. You still have an income, and they're going to tax that income. In certain states, they're just robbing you blind. Who's going to stay? Who's going to stay? Is why so many people have been retreating from certain states to others that are more friendly tax-wise, right? But that's just a symptom. So the West overall has been doing terrible with their management of everything, of all possible infrastructures, of all legalities. They've been doing a terrible job, which is why you see them now in a mass decline. And it says a lot about the entirety of the system. So if they want to survive, and they can, they need to implement these systems right now, right? Saving money, making an exponential amount of more money, more security, everything is visible. So then everybody can check in on data in value, where it went, who has this or that. So there's all of these positives to it. Then on top of that, the liquidity issue that they created, by the way, we can solve that. On-demand liquidity, instant liquidity. We have it all. We can pull liquidity from more sources than they can because they don't have access like we do. That's logical. We can get the banked and we can get the unbanked. They can't. They can only access the banked. Then on top of that, because of how their central banks operate, they have the commercial banks, public and private, in a headlock, right? Then that's not to mention the rogue private banks that continue to issue loans and create new money. Like, there's all of these problems with the way that their systems are operating. Only we have the solution. That's it. Only we have it. And we're innovating so fast, they can't catch up with us. They can't surpass us. They need what we have. As simple as that. That's why the big money is going to come. That's why they continue to sit on the sidelines and wait. There's a reason for that. So it says in an October 15th tweet, Brad Garlinghouse said the SEC has shown no concerns for companies or individuals that its lawsuit against XRP token would harm. According to him, Gary Gensler-led commissions, I'm assuming that the writer is paraphrasing. That's what I'm assuming. According to him, the Gary Gensler-led commission's pursuit of a policy objective is not about, quote, a faithful allegiance to law. Instead, it's about power. Of course, we know this. We know this. But this is not for us. There's somebody that Mr. Garlinghouse is speaking to who wants them to hear this. So he's putting it out there little by little, right? Trying to catch their attention. And then just waiting on a reaction. So then we know how to respond appropriately to see where the waters are going to move us. Right? Because remember, Ripple can operate from anywhere. Anywhere. They have headquarters elsewhere. You see a lot of other crypto entities building headquarters elsewhere also, don't you? You see them doing a lot of heavy business. Isn't FTX doing something in Dubai? Right? A lot of large crypto entities, and wisely so, are looking outside of the US just in case. Just in case. You should always take precautionary measures. Crypto DLTs are going to thrive no matter what. The US better get on board, or get on board, or they're gonna get rolled over. Simple as that. They don't have the power that they used to, which leads me into another thing. I'm about to make a members only video, and one of the documents we're covering in there, we're gonna have to talk about that. The reason why the West is declined. We're gonna have to talk about that. It's important because we're all gonna live through it. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse continued that the SEC would face no consequences for the lawsuit. And that's what I've been talking about. See, Mr. Garlinghouse and I are on the same page. There needs to be consequences. The SEC needs to be held accountable. Too many powerful entities see what's going on. They know they're in the wrong, but there's no accountability. Didn't I say that before? There needs to be somebody watchdogging the SEC. They said it themselves that there was an entity that told Hinman what that individual was doing was illegal. If that's the case, then who's doing something about that? Who is over the SEC that can tell them, hey, you're doing something wrong? No, you got to pay a penalty. No, that's criminal. You have to go to jail or something. There has to be consequences. If there's no consequences for these regulators, for these entities, if there is corruption or something being done wrong, then why would they stop? Rules for me, none for thee. It shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be that way. So don't let it be that way. Don't let it be that way. But the people have to do something. The people are too used to sitting back and doing nothing. The people are too used to sitting back and hoping someone else does the job. But the voices of the few fall on deaf ears. It takes many to all in unison say something together to really get things moving. We'll see what happens. We will see what happens. So let's continue on here. So this article is titled Ripple versus SEC Lawyer Explains Source of Confusion Over Hinman's Emails. Let's read this little tidbit here. The ongoing legal case between Ripple XRP. Why do they keep writing it like that? Ripple XRP. Just say Ripple. Anybody can use XRP. Let's continue on here. And the Securities and Exchange Commission continues to take new twists and turns as both parties await the resolution of the matter. In this line, crypto attorney Jeremy Hogan has pointed out what he terms as confusion regarding the handover of former SEC Division Director Bill Hinman's emails, he said in a series of tweets on October 14th. According to the legal expert, following the decision by the presiding judge to overrule SEC's objections to turning over the emails, she did not clarify when they must be handed over. Really? The email in contention concerns a speech. Okay, so we know the Hinman speech. We know about that. According to the crypto legal expert, the SEC may not appeal the verdict due to its overall implications. Quote, if the SEC appeals the ruling, it will take a long time to figure out. Oh my goodness. Oh, I didn't want to hear that. I personally don't think the SEC will appeal. I hope not. Oh my God. There should be some way to stop this at this point. I don't think the SEC will appeal because it risks adverse binding case authority by doing so. Bad facts equal bad law. And these are bad facts. But others have different opinions on that quote. End of quote, he said. So there you have it. All right. So let's move on to this next article here. All right. So then we have this. My gosh. XRP reloading for new spike up following 13% plunge, as if this matters at all. This is not going to matter when XRP is going to $20, $20, $30. Millionaires already made by that time. I mean, multi-millionaires already made by that time, by the way. Then it goes to $100. This won't matter. Do you know, like, they're doing interbank payments. Do people know what XRP does? Do they know? This doesn't matter. You know why I say that? Because I saw a prediction of XRP $3. What? What? $3? What did you just say? I'll say it again. What? Let me stutter one more time. What did you just say? Do you know what XRP does? Interbank payments, tokenization of real estate, tokenization of music. Now they're starting to step into Algorand territory. Tokenization of music in all possible ways. That's all that value. Tokenization of the metaverse, which is going to bring video games, peer-to-peer payments, business to customer payments, B2C, B2B. That's already trillions of dollars. We're going to take a piece of that. Tokenization of a debt. Don't ever forget the tokenization of debt. That's going to be huge, huge. We can do that. On-demand liquidity, the banks, the necessity of our network of banks to hold XRP and pull their money into XRP. Like all of these things, there is no way in the world. I just laugh when people are concerned with little small stuff like this, or make these predictions trying to bring all the other people down that are actually in the know, the made holders. I call them the made holders. They held through everything. They understand where it's really going to go. So they're holding until the end. I'm one of them. I'm here till the end. I'm here to see it through. I'm not telling anyone else to do that. I'm not. And that's whether it's XLM, XRP, Quant. I'm here to the end. I only make decisions for me. Like I said, I'm not telling anybody else to do that. Made holders, no retreat, no surrender. But yeah, 13% plunge. Yeah, I think it's going to spike 100% because people are starting to talk about XRP more. They're starting to understand. They're reading documents. Finally, they're doing research. Finally, the truth is getting out. Finally, XRP's price is spending time with me. That's how they feel. Shout out to Math Hoffa. Yeah, people don't know. Like, what was that rhyme? That was a good rhyme. You only know, but if you watch a little bit of battle rap. According to the daily chart, XRP is forming an ascending channel after the upward surge. After an asset enters a channel, it causes volatility to decrease. We all know this, which then leads to a breakout. You know, what's funny? I don't really do technical analysis, and I watch some I like technical analyst YouTubers. I like them a lot. It's so fun listening to technical analysis. Just unfortunately, when it comes to the bank coins, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Utility, there's no limit. Market cap does not encompass, I want you to hear this clearly. Market cap does not encompass what these new, never before seen technologies can do. There's never been an asset like Quant. There's never been an asset like XRP deeply ingrained within the banking system, Algorand, XLM. There's no telling how high they can go because you've had brilliant minds tell you before. The heights that they can reach are only dictated by what's issued on the chain, the value that's issued on the chain, which will have to be watched, which means you have to do the research, which means you have to read documents. You have to know catalysts. That's how this is going to play out. That's why we've made all of the researchers, not just myself, most of the researchers have made most of the best calls, especially in the bear market. It's the researchers. Which, by the way, some of our subscribers here are some of the best researchers and now philosophers also. If you've seen some of our people like Pay Me and XRP, all those great words of wisdom that these individuals dropping on Twitter, all the great research that a lot of these subscribers on this channel here are doing and putting out there to you in different ways. But the researchers have been making the great best calls because they're reading the documents, understanding the catalyst, so they know when something's going to happen and if it's going to happen. They know when a deal is powerful. They know when a deal is going to fall through. They know all of that stuff. They've seen it with their own eyes. A lot of great ones on this channel, man. Crypto Raider, Akuma, Pay Me XRP. There's so many people, man. And there's other ones that they just outright just powerful subscribers on this channel. You know, I can't think of everybody off the top of my head right now on the spot, but yeah. So much love and shout out to everybody on this channel, wherever you may be. Let's continue on here to this article. You know, it's crazy. I have so many more tabs open. We have a lot more to cover here. So then Quant, we get to another Quant article here. This is from globalriskregulator.com. CBDCs could bring benefits provided they are designed properly. So Quant continues. This is from Gilbert Verdian himself. So they continue to speak as an authority. There's a reason why they feel they have this authority. Central bank digital currencies could improve the payment structure. By could, they mean will. The payment infrastructures right now are absolutely terrible. People are getting overdraft fees for nothing, right? Oh, sorry, it's an error. Money is going missing. Oh, sorry, it's an error. Wait, what? Their identities are getting stolen. The systems are getting hacked. The systems are getting shut down. Any hint of any type of disaster, you're going to have bank runs. Banks don't have enough money for the people, enough cash. And a lot of people still believe that in an event of a disaster, cash is king. They still believe that. So they're going to want to go get their value out of that bank. But now, like I said, once again, how much in reserves do the banks have to hold? Right. There's a liquidity crisis. The banks are too busy trying to survive. You're going to trust your value with institutions that are barely surviving? They're barely surviving. So they're lending out more of your money that as much of your money as possible. They're lending out from your savings, right? That's not to take into account the volatility and fluctuation of the dollar, right? But then also they have to take some of that value and give it back to the central banks from the reserves. So then you have that. So then there's nothing left for you when you go there, take out your 200 grand. Yeah. Right? They can't give it all to you. They give it to you all at once. What do you need it for? What do I need it for? It's my money. What do you mean? Give me my money. Right? What do I need it for? Well, give you a few days. Right? A few days. Right? I want my 200 grand right now. I need it now. See? So their infrastructures are absolutely terrible. Central bank digital currencies have been gaining momentum worldwide with 19 G20. We already know that. Let's skip down here a little bit. See if there's anything we don't know. CBDCs fundamentally change the nature of money, taking it beyond a medium of economic exchange with CBDCs and commercial stablecoins, which means the value flows seamlessly now with CBDCs, which is why the new financial system, Algorand, Quant, XRP, XLM, Hedera, Cello, they will benefit the most because that value will flow right out of that old, antiquated, horrible legacy system right into us. You've seen the setup. You've read the white papers already. You see how this is going. You see that we're helping with the digital dollar. You see that we're on a digital pound foundation, digital euro association, the Faster Payments Council, the Faster Payments Task Force. We're on the advisory board for the International Monetary Fund. What more you need to see? We're still being tested and we're still winning contests. What more do you need to see? Hey, so that money will flow seamlessly out of their system into ours. Then take into account that we are Web3. Web3, we are Web3. The last one standing will be the bank coins. Meme coins will be gone. Scam coins will be gone. The ish coins, the zombie coins will be gone. The dominant, the true, regulated, and compliant cryptos will be the last one standing. We are Web3. So we will take all of that value also. We will take all of that new metaverse generated value also. So when Ripple and all these other ones say all the money, well, Ripple outright says all the money, but other ones just hint at it. But I'll take the hints. I'll take that. They all do similar jobs, but they don't step on each other's toes. One system. But when they say all the money, yeah, they're trying to take as much value as possible. And I'm all for it. What's that Kai says in the comment section? The new 1%? That's what Kai says. Shout out to Kai. New 1%? Right. Right. Also, let me give some love to and shout outs to Infinity Warrior, Love Life, Voltaire the Vulture. I love that name, by the way. Oh, that's tough. Voltaire the Vulture. Oh, that's a tough name right there. I like it. Who else can we think of? Crypto Blazer, Nick, right? Linda, Asti. Shout out to everybody out there. All right. Let's move on to this next article here. I'm feeling good today. Hope you are as well. Are TradFi and DeFi on course for convergence or collision? We're going to absorb them. Collision? The nerve of you to even think they stand a chance. We're going to take all their value, all their money. We're going right in their pockets. And we're just going to take out the cash. Just hand it over to us. Yes, you need us. We're just going to take this. We dictate the price. You can't collision. No, they're going to congeal with us. All right. But let's read this a little bit. This is from Quant also. Distributed ledger technology is poised to transform financial services. But how, when, and what role will regulation play? Well, that's up to the United States now. The rest of the world is starting to work on regulations. There's tiny bits coming out. Right. The one that's lagging behind is the West. This is from Gilbert Verdian. Does traditional finance need to adopt a decentralized model and blockchain technology? Well, there's a lot of ways they could go about that, honestly. But let's hear what he has to say. Why would they do this? To survive. Their entire system is on fire. And what are the advantages? Quote, we are seeing traditional financial institutions adopt DLT because it can help them grow. Oh, that's so nice. That's so nice. Don't be so kind to them, Mr. Verdian. It can help them grow. Translation, they need us. They can't make any real money without us. They're broke without us. Broken. They're bleeding out. We are the new life, the new blood, the new money, the new 1%. We're the new power. We're the new system. We're here to help you. You want this help or not? Because either way, we're going to take off. So you can hitch a ride. We're letting them hitch a ride. I don't want to underplay their situation. I definitely don't also want to overplay it. I don't want to give them more credit than they deserve. The traditional or legacy system is dying right now. They're hurt badly. They need us. We're bringing them along. We don't have to. We could take everything. If they didn't want to compete with us. That's why so quickly, within 1 year's time, they went from hating us to now all of them want in on the bank coins. All of them are sitting down in meetings with the bank coins. Just my humble opinion. So they can get exposure to new customers. Exactly. We have access to money that they could never touch. They could never touch that money. To new funds and ETFs, which they couldn't before. Thank you, Mr. Verdian. Thank you. He just said what I said. Literally. Let me read it again. We are seeing traditional financial institutions adopt DLT because it can help them grow. They can get exposure to new customers, accessing new funds and ETFs, which they couldn't before. We can do what they can do and what they can't do. That means we can take their money and we can access this value they never could. How powerful is that? And we're only going to grow. They've grown to their maximum extent. It's over for them. We haven't. We have no limitation on what we can do because we're at the forefront of not only finances, but technology. That's powerful. We're going to continue to grow. We're going to continue to get powerful. There's no limit on us. And we're constantly bringing in new minds. That's what all the accelerators are about. That's what all the hackathons are about. That's what all the bounties are about. We're constantly bringing in new, brilliant, genius minds. And what do genius minds equal? More innovation. What does more innovation equal? More money. Come on. Gotta shake my shoulders a little bit, a little shimmy shake. We're doing too good. I feel great. You feel great? Don't you feel good? Yes. We're gonna make it, everyone. We can survive anything. We're going to thrive. We're not just going to survive. We're going to thrive. We're going to dominate. We've been dominating. Yeah, that's right. Pat yourself on the back. I can't do it right now because I'll make this microphone go crazy. It's a brand new microphone. Hopefully it's functioning right. We had some technical difficulties last video. My apologies. Got a brand new microphone. Hopefully that solves the issue. All right. So now let's move on here. We're gonna move on to a little bit of Algorand news. So Stacey Wharton had an interview here on, was this Salt News? So FinTech TV. Okay, FinTech TV, and was asked a question about Algorand and why is Algorand special. So, you know, I'm going to do a little translation here. So I'm going to very quickly play the part of the interviewer and Stacey Wharton, just to give you an idea of how this interview went. Completely accurate, you know, no embellishment whatsoever. This is exactly how the interview went. So Algorand, sorry, I'm the interviewer here. I'm the reporter. So Algorand, Stacey, why should anyone utilize Algorand? Algorand is the best. We are the best. We're into music. We're dominating in the financial industries. We're used around the world. We're banking the unbanked. I mean, literally, people are just chanting Algo wherever we go. Algo, Algo. You know how they used to chant Wu-Tang? Wu-Tang, Wu-Tang. Well, they doing it just like that. Algo, Algo. We are number one. We are the best. We're going to continue to expand. Traditional finance needs us. I told you, I'm Stacey Wharton. I closed the deals. Listen, I have love for all the other bank coin families, all the other technologies, but we are dominating. Algorand's doing a great job. So anyway, that's pretty much how I viewed the interview going. And it's all true. Listen, the Stacey Wharton effect. I told you, I know winners. I know winners when I see one. When I see them, all right, from Garling House, Stacey Wharton, Gilbert Verdian, Lehman Baird, from Hedera, I'm telling you, I know winners. It's just like when I used to do coaching. Right? And my team ended off, just so you know. I've been winning for a long time. My team ended off, we were number one in our county, by the way. We only lost one match. We lost one match, and it was the last match. It was the 189-pound match. That's it. That's the only one we took. And we lost by 1 point as a team. We lost by 1 point. We ended off, we were like 27-1, 27 wins and 1 loss. That's pretty good for a team. So anyway, when I used to do coaching and stuff like that, I could literally, well, first of all, I knew a lot of the other coaches because they were athletes when I was an athlete. So I knew who was who, and I knew whose mentality was what for the most part. But even with the coaches I didn't know, I could look into someone's eyes. I can listen to what they say. The way you shake my hand. I know how strong you are mentally, how aggressive you might be. I just need that little bit to know if you're a winner or a loser. Stacey Wharton is a winner. Haven't we been winning this whole time? Dominating. Napster. LimeWire. Race cars. Drone racing. Australia Zoo. Airport advertisements, Times Square advertisements. Do I have to keep going? Domination is what has happened since Stacey Wharton took the helm of the Algo Foundation. And I'm telling you now, you haven't seen anything yet. I'm about to break my fan and my light. Anyway, you haven't seen anything yet. Oh man, let's move on here. Anyway, that was a really good interview by Stacey Wharton. Did a great job explaining how fast Algorand is, how scalable it is, why it's the best, why it's the future. And also let me not leave out, we are quantum computer proof. Right. So while the quantum computers are reaching into everybody else's cookie jar, not Algorand's, not Hedera's. No, they're quantum proof. Ooh, we're cooking on all cylinders. Now, let's go here. We have a little tweet here from Algorand, and I was just speaking about music. The music blockchain. Look how they said that. This is from Algo Foundation. On fire. They're the best. The music blockchain at Algorand is taking the hashtag music industry by storm into Web3. Tomorrow, you can ask everything you want to know directly to at LimeWire. We were just talking about them. Team on a Reddit AMA. There you have it. They've been dominating. We're going to take as much of that music value as possible. I'm telling you now, and it's going to increase exponentially because of how artists can sell their music as NFTs now. We're not talking about cents per stream anymore, like on Apple Music or Spotify. No disrespect to them, but that's a fact. You get cents per stream. You better be doing millions and billions of streams to really see a good profit on there. But here in Web3, yeah, sure, you could do that if you choose. You have options though now. See, now you sell you have your music NFT'd. Maybe you sell just 10 of those. Oh, they're so rare and people love it. That's going to sell for thousands of dollars now, easily. You're making hundreds of thousands of dollars if you wanted to, right? You promote it properly. Of course, there's a lot of factors involved, but I'm saying is you could set your own price. You can't do that now. You can't do that now with the streaming systems. So there's a lot of value. And I was saying that to say that this is going to increase exponentially. There's a lot of value that we're going to bring in, and it's just going to continue to increase. All right. So now let's go here. More happenings on Algorand. Lofty AI. This is a tweet. They're built on Algorand, running on Algorand. Says paying rental income daily is paying off. We've officially delivered $1 million in rental income to our investors. So there you have it. So even rental income. Oh, and also I left out, don't forget Algorand doing payroll. They were the first. Then Ripple start trying to set up payroll infrastructures. That was in Mexico, I believe. But Algorand was the first. Then also don't forget that they're used as a traceability protocol. Traceability is going to be huge. That's big money, money, money. Muy linda, mi gente. That's huge money. All of this takes time. Takes time. You can't rush this. We're talking about the new financial system. So we have our timelines, right? Let's continue on here, right? So OPEC. This is from saltwire.com. OPEC Plus members endorse output cut after U.S. coercion accusation. These are things people need to know about, especially if you're making money in this field. OPEC member states lined up on Sunday to endorse the steep cut to its output target agreed this month after the White House stepping up a war of words with Saudi Arabia. Why? Bro, their foreign policy, their foreign relations is like, my goodness. Oh, a war of words with Saudi Arabia. Accused Riyadh of coercing some other nations into supporting the move. Oh my goodness, they're so delusional. You're not seeing what's happening. You've had them in a headlock for the longest time. This is why I'm telling everyone the world is changing. The power is shifting. The DLTs are going to take over because they can't and won't use a weaponized dollar any longer. That's number one. And they won't use a weaponized value transfer system like SWIFT. They're not going to do it. The rest of the world is not weak like they were long ago. They have wiggled out of the headlock and now they want to be free. They don't have to be coerced into anything. To be quite honest, listen, I mean, hey, I'm not saying what did happen or didn't happen here and specifically. I'm just saying that they don't have to be coerced. They want to move to a system that's free, not one where there's leverage over them, where they're going to be forced to live a certain way, think a certain way, do certain things because they took loans or they have to use a certain currency. So there's all these strings attached and they have to dance like a puppet. They don't want that anymore. Listen, let's say you slap me in the face and you go down the street over here and you slap this person over here in the face and then you go across town here and slap that person in the face. And then we all throughout the year decide we're just going to leave this place, right? We don't want to stay here anymore because there's somebody running around slapping us all the time. That doesn't mean we were all coerced in leaving. That just means we don't want to be slapped anymore. Get what I'm saying? Right? That's how I look at that. United States last week said the cut would boost certain countries' foreign earnings and suggested it had been engineered for political reasons by Saudi Arabia. Wow. Well, I did not know that they were saying these things, which on Sunday denied it was supporting that other country, the one that these people have a problem with right now, in its invasion. We'll just stop there. The Saudi King Salman bin Abdulaziz said the kingdom was working hard to support stability and balance in oil markets, including establishing and maintaining agreement of the OPEC Plus alliance. Okay, so now let's move on to another article here. So it says, White House economic advisor says Fed action starting to cool U.S. economy. They're doing a lot more than that. They're about to crush the U.S. economy. But it's not just the U.S. because all of these different central banks are going to be raising interest rates, which right now we've already had stagflation. We've already been in a recession. This is my humble opinion. But come on, they even changed the technical definition of a recession. Why would you have to do that if we're not in a recession? Just say we're not. But they did admit 2 weeks ago to a technical recession already had occurred. What we're in now is deceleration. Deceleration. Let me say this loud and clear for people who don't understand. So you can, hey, you believe what you want. We're in deceleration. There's been a mass amount of layoffs as of late. I want to continue to say that. Repetition is the mother of learning. At least this is what they say. We're in deceleration. Deceleration, the danger of deceleration is that it could take you into a depression. The dangers of deceleration is it will take you right past. It will rocket you away from a recession into depression. And right now, what's going on globally? There's been a global recession. There's been global deceleration in every possible way. That would mean a global. The possibility of course, possibility. They can avoid this, by the way. There's solutions. We already talked about a lot of them. Institute the new systems. That's your primary solution. There's liquidity now. That's another thing. It's more, everything is operating like a house of cards. Any disaster right now would be devastating and would put the world into a depression, in my humble opinion. Any disaster. And then what the banks were talking about in a recent meeting, I think a lot of you watched that meeting also. One of the recent meetings was how to not prevent disaster, but how to use disaster, like with issuing loans and stuff and so-called relief funding, which obviously there's a lot of strings attached. If they help you in any kind of way, there's strings attached. So they want to take advantage. They're talking about how to take advantage of the situations, not prevent situations, right? So, but at least at that time in that meeting, right? But because everything is a house of cards, if there was any type of disaster, which there's a lot of possibilities for that now, especially with cyber polygons being discussed and quantum computing attacks being discussed and things like that, it would take the world into a global depression. The people would not be able to access their money to the majority of banks at that particular time, wherever that disaster would occur, because they don't have the liquidity, because they don't have to hold anything in reserves. Then if the people can't access their money and they have and the banks are shutting down systems and you can't take out cash to use it here and there, how does that affect the people in their lives? See what I'm saying? So it's like, this is why it's important to know this information so you can protect yourself at all times and be, if anything were to occur, you can take the appropriate action early on, hopefully with very little effect. So let's read this little tidbit here. White House economic advisor Cecilia Rouse said on Sunday that Federal Reserve interest rate hikes were starting to cool the red hot U.S. economy. Okay, can you back that with some kind of facts? But let's continue on. Especially labor and housing markets. Well, the housing market is a completely different thing. We told people about that earlier this year also, didn't we? Now you see what's happening. Rouse, who chairs the White House Council of Economic Advisors, told CNN that the Biden administration, I don't see now the housing market's on my mind, but I understand a lot of big companies. Well, I want to really talk about that, truth be told. But a lot of big companies were getting in. They're starting to understand buying up all the houses and stuff like that for a variety of reasons, right? So it's one of the reasons why I believe personally there's certain things, certain problems happening within the housing market. But let's continue on here. So you had all these very high prices for a long time, right? So certain things going on. Rouse, who chairs the White House Council of Economic Advisors, told CNN that the Biden administration would work to bring costs down. I got to be careful saying names now on YouTube. At least my channel does. Right? So, hey, bring costs down quote, to the best of our abilities, but some inflation is related to energy price spikes prompted by the war, she said. I mean, there's a bevy of reasons why there is energy problems, coal shortages, right? The traceability and tracking of different commodities, a lot of commodities going lost, right? Certain things happening with oil pipelines as well, right? I mean, hey, a lot of them were shut down also, to be fair. So, I mean, what did you expect? So you have that. Then you have a lot of theft of oil as well, natural gas as well, theft, right? Which is just starting to be uncovered. We covered an article about that recently, okay? So I'm not saying this, I'm telling you what we read. Theft also, so like, and this is why, another reason why the DLTs like XRP, Algorand traceability protocols like VeChain are gonna come in handy, so everything can be tracked and traced. They were, according to that article we read, there was stealing of oil for so long, to a mind-blowing degree. But if you had a traceability protocol and every barrel had to be scanned, it could be scanned by a computer, scanned by a machine. So it doesn't have to be people. Then you would know where that was going, and it wouldn't have gone unseen for so long. And that's happening around the world. That's just what they caught. So there's a lot of reasons why there's energy crisis. It really is an energy crisis, because it's about to be a cold winter in Europe for a variety of reasons. So those are some reasons. Then you have monetary policy. You have monetary policy. You have political policy that also affects that. Right. So, you know, it's a bevy of reasons, but OK, we'll keep our eye on things like that. So now we're on to this article here. Ex-Morgan Stanley CEO admits crypto could be a huge way powering monetary transactions. So there you go. See, when these people leave these organizations, they tell the truth. When they're in the organization, they say one thing. When they leave the organization, all of a sudden they have this epiphany. Well, they knew this the entire time, you know, but a lot of people have to fake it. They have to lie to stay in certain industries because a lot of industries, as I said before, a lot of industries operate like fraternal orders. You're either down with us or you're against us. That's the way that it goes. You don't hear me, though. As the cryptocurrency sector matures, there remains uncertainties regarding how the industry will evolve and integrate into traditional financial space. We'll take it over. We're going to take it over and run it better than they did, better than they ever did. And the people are going to love us for it, by the way. And we don't need them to love it. We just need them to move that value through the systems. That value through the system is going to equal to generational wealth. But let's go back to the system and the people actually using the system. They're going to be happier with our systems than they ever were with yours, because there's absolute transparency in this system. They can't get, when we're said and done, and I'm talking about the bank coins, I'm not talking about the rest of crypto, has nothing to do with us. But in the bank coins, there's absolute transparency and everybody will be treated fairly because they can see everything everywhere. Is compliant, is secure. Some of us have military grade security. And what was it? Oh, and then who was it? Quant or Hedera said recently, they have bank grade security, which is ridiculous in my point. I get what they're trying to convey, but we have security better than the banks. Better, it's much better than the banks. Just do a comparative, do some comparative research and you'll see that, right? Read the white papers. The white papers are there for you. So they're going to trust us more as well. They're going to, and we're more easily used, and they can custody their own money as well as move it instantaneously. So it has we have the benefits of digitized value, with also the benefits of having something akin to cash. Right. So in particular, former Morgan Stanley CEO. Oh, so this really matters. Okay, this person's word definitely is going to carry some weight. CEO John Mack. Oh, Mack. Oh, I like that last name. Return. Remember that song? Return of the Mack. Oh man, I couldn't go anywhere without hearing that Return of the Mack song when I was little. Oh man, that was one of the biggest songs of all time, and I don't hear anybody talking about that song. Who made that song? Was it the dude? Was the man's name Mark? Was it Mark Morrison? Was it Mark Morrison? Return of the Mack? And let me tell you something. If for those of you youngsters that haven't heard Return of the Mack, get an HD version. Put your headphones on, or you got that surround sound. You got that nice Dolby Atmos and all that kind of stuff. Put that on. Put on Return of the Mack. Ooh, It gets you fired up, man. You really gonna think you're a Mac. Only to get shut down. You walk out your house thinking you're a Mac, only to get shut down by everybody. That song will have you believing, right? Oh, man. Anyway, what were we talking about again? I'm just kidding. We were in this article here with John Mack. CEO John Mack has acknowledged that in the coming decades, cryptocurrency will be, quote, a huge way that the monetary transactions take place, unquote. According to Mack, digital assets come with several benefits over the traditional financial sector. Talk, T-A-W-K, talk, right? He about to spit some fire, I'm telling you right now. Noting that cryptocurrencies will play a key role in digitizing the economy. Yes, we're going to take over everything, like I said. Tell him, Mr. Mack, return of the Mac. An electronic future. At the same time, Mack highlighted some of the key elements to power a digital economy that people will be looking out for. Quote, you got to make sure it's insulated. Okay, it's a strange word. You have to make sure it's insulated, protected. Now, I'm not a word person like that, but I mean, that just sticks out to me. You got to make sure it's insulated. You trying to be cool, sir? You trying to be cool? Protected and no one can break into it. 50 years from now, I think things will be even more electronic and driven more, of course, and more by input from humans in the computers on how to trade, how to take risks, and make sure they don't go over their limits. Oh, you're talking about some protection. Okay, I see. Furthermore, Mack revealed that he still owns Bitcoin, despite, of course, because Bitcoin is going to explode. It's just a matter of time, really. And I don't hold any Bitcoin. I have no love for Bitcoin, but I don't have any hatred for it either. It's going to explode. Simple as that. It has been chosen by certain select traditionalists and legacy system entities. I expect a few good explosions out of Bitcoin. It's going to have its time. I'm not saying it's going to go on forever, but I believe it's going to have its time. We'll see, though. I could be completely wrong on that. Like I said, I don't hold any Bitcoin, so it really doesn't matter to me. That he still owns Bitcoin despite the ongoing market correction that has seen the flagship cryptocurrency correct by 70%. That doesn't matter. Listen, the way it can explode, given certain catalysts, the 70% correction isn't going to matter at all. Literally, like not a. But that's given, it has to do certain things. Certain catalysts have to come into play. I'm not going to discuss that now. Like I said, I'm not a Bitcoin channel, so I really don't have to. Mack added that he has invested in some hedge funds that have exposure to cryptocurrencies, while his family office has some positions in digital assets. But he's not going to say, I promise you, this man is deep in the bank coins. You think he doesn't know? You think, come on now. He was the CEO of Morgan Stanley. You think he doesn't know about XRP, XLM, Quant, Hedera, the ones who are sitting down with all the big banks, all the big money, all the big corporations? Of course, then they don't want to talk about it just yet. Yeah, they don't want to cause FOMO. Let's move on here. So we'll end off with this here. I actually have 3 more articles. Let me just make sure that this is an important one, that this is the best one to end on. So we have U.S. Permian oil production forecast to hit record in November. Then we have this one here. U.S. stocks surge, dollar dips. We can do that one. I think the oil one's better than that one. We have here on CBOT wheat edges higher but closes below peaks. This is for you guys who are into futures. So we cover some futures. We have a little bit of time for that. Then we have CBOT soybeans firm but end below session peak. More for you guys out there that are into futures and stuff like that. I'm trying to cover a few different things to make money at the top and the bottom, make money wherever we can, right? Let's talk about this oil though, since we already covered something that was in relation to this. U.S. Permian oil production forecast to hit record in November. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Oil output in the Permian in Texas and New Mexico, the biggest U.S. shale oil basin, is forecast to rise about, wait, they got ads popping up and things right in the middle of the article. That's terrible. Somebody in his website, it was this money.usnews.com. Get on that. You can have ads, but don't let it pop up right in the middle of the article. My goodness. The U.S. Energy Information Administration said in its productivity report on Monday, U.S. crude oil output in major U.S. shale basins is due to rise by about 104,000 BPD to 9.105 million BPD in November, its highest since March 2020. In the Bakken in North Dakota and Montana, the EIA forecasts oil output will rise 22,000 BPD to 1.190 million BPD in November, the most since December. All right, they're trying to tell the people. Total natural gas output in the big shale basins will increase by 0.6 billion cubic feet per day to a record 95.1 BCFD in November, the EIA forecast. In the biggest shale gas basin, Appalachia in Pennsylvania, Ohio, and West Virginia, output will rise 35.7 BCFD in November, the highest since hitting a record 36.0 BCFD in December 2021. Okay, they have a whole lot more here, but we're going to stop right there. And hopefully that's very helpful to you people making money in that industry. And we're trying to cover a little bit of everything, man. We have a bulk is the crypto bank coin news. We've got a little futures. Sometimes we cover little indices, all these different things that we can make money. Sometimes a little FX, little currencies here and there. So now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with it. So until next time, let's get to the money.